Morning, folks. I guess you could say part of this shave is brought to us by Matthew Lawrence. This is the set. I've got a link down below if you want to check his YouTube channel out. This is the set that he sent me to me. It's got orange in it, and he had a reaction to the orange, and so he decided soap was not for him because of the orange that is in this particular soap. It is a really nice scent. I've got, like I say, description down below, link to it if you want to check it out. It is it's firm in the container here, but it is relatively easy to scoop out, put in a bowl, whip up a lather, and it is a really nice scent. While I was whipping up the lather in the bowl, I usually whip it up about waist high, and I can smell the scent of the soap, and that was it's a pretty nice scent. Can't complain a bit about it. It is really nice. I do like how this label is made up. It's, I guess you might say, if you were looking for a Sunday morning relaxing kind of shave, and this would be the kind of picture that would probably, for some folks, might be relaxing. Some folks might be interested in what the wildlife is. But anyway, it is a really nice. It's got that you can smell the orange, and you can smell the the rest of the scent coming out. Oh, by the way, okay, get past all that. This is a Yaqi brush, Lake Cavern, I think it is, or Cavern Lake. Get the words mixed up here. Anyhow, it's a 24 millimeter. It's I think it's like a tuxedo knot, synthetic knot. It's a good looking brush handle there. It looks nice. Got it whipped up here in a salsa bowl. That's what it looks like there, and it does. It smells really great for a Sunday morning. Blade of choice. I did catch a little bit of Matthew's video this morning, and this is the blade of choice today, and it's a Personna Red. And I understand where he's coming from, where sometimes it's hard to know where these blades are made at, because I think some of Personna blades are made in Germany, some are made in Israel, and some made here stateside, or at least they used to at some point in time. Because sometimes it takes a moment for them, for the stock to get worked through before you get to the quote unquote the new stock. And with all that in mind, this particular box here is what the blade came in, and I know you're not going to be able to see it, so you'll have to trust me. But right down here in black print, teeny tiny print there, it says blades made in Israel. So Israeli reds, so they can kind of understand where all that comes from. I have several now, because I found some more on Amazon, Personna blades that are blue, and come wrapped in blue. Look like this, but they're wrapped in blue, and they were selling a 100 pack for right at $12, which is a pretty good buy. Because sometimes these Personna blades go upwards of $16, $18. Just depends on where you buy them at. Yeah, these blades can be a little bit on the, at least in my opinion, on the high side. I like the lower prices, of course. Anyway, I do hunt for the bargains, in other words. Oh, and also you can find, say like for instance on eBay, you can find some Personna X series. 300 pack for about $30. I think it's $28.88 or something like that. And I think the shipping is free. So that's an excellent buy. I mean, anytime you're paying $10 for a 100 pack, in other words, that is a pretty good buy. Anyway, that's another source that you could hunt down some Personna blades if that's your sort of thing. I know not everybody cares for the Personna blades. I love them. They work great for me. Shaver of the day. Here is the fine slant razor. This one here looks an awful lot like the super light that is made out of plastic. I think it's polymer. I can't remember for sure exactly what that one was made out of. But this is what we have going on today, another slant razor. I think I have another 5 slant razors to go through. There's a lot of slant razors out there. Some are still in production, some aren't. And this one here is no longer in production, but you can still find it at some of the websites. And I do have a link to one down below. I got mine at Groomatorium a while back. It was on sale for $80. I think the original price might have been 125 or 100. I can't remember which one it was. Anyhow, it was, in other words, a little bit north of 100 if I remember correctly. but it's out of production. Fine made another razor. I think it's World's Finest Razor, I think was the name of it. It's no longer in production. It's not on their website. And yeah, you may have to hunt around to find that one. And the one that I think they have, it may be listed on Fine's website, Marvel, but I think it's sold out, and that's another one that they're discontinuing. So I don't know if they're going to make any more razors or not. It'll be interesting to see. I haven't seen anything, but as you can imagine, there's a lot to keep up with all the different manufacturers. What's going on with each one, and whether they're making them or not. Maybe they haven't said, and that's the reason why I don't know. I've already put a hot towel to the face this morning. I'm gonna go ahead and wet the face and try to finish off this Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. This was a Holiday Preshave cube. There is another one out that's a Holiday, but it's a different color, and I'm sure it's a different scent. Yeah, he does he does a great job keeping me interested in the Preshave soaps, doesn't he? Keep on working on various different scents. And he does have, I think, clown fruit that glows in the dark in a tube. I think is still available on PAA's website, as well as the I guess you might say the black one and then the mentholated one. I think those are the only ones that are in tubes. At least at this point in time. I think there's 3 or 4 flavors when it comes to the Preshave cubes. I think clown fruit's still available. Then of course you got the black one. Then you got the mentholated one, ice cube. I think the pumpkin's still available. I can't remember. There's a few of them that's still available if you're looking for a different flavor, other than I guess you might say, oh yes, I think lump of coal might still be out there. A lot of stuff, huh? It is a lot to keep up with who's coming out with what and when, and new razors, and some of these blades have been out for a good long moment. So by the time all the folks that sell these blades, by the time they work through the quote-unquote the old stock, it could be several years. And so in other words, it could be by that point in time when the stock gets low, they have Personna, for instance, may have already changed where they manufacture location. In other words, may have changed, and by the time we finally figure out what all is going on, it's been, in other words, it's a good long moment after the fact. It is a little bit tough to keep up with, especially if you keep up with who actually owns Personna. It's changed over the years. At one point in time, Philip Morris used to own him, so there's that. This scent does smell good. It is wonderful. This will be my first time go with the 345 soap. I had no problems lathering it. So I would consider scent strength definitely on the medium side, if not up on the upper ends. It's not necessarily in your face, but it's definitely present. Easy for my nose to pick up. So your nose, it may be on the stronger scent side than what mine is. My nose doesn't always work the best. So here we go. Now I find this shaver to be a pretty nice shaver. Works well for me. It weighs just over an ounce. Length, I think, if I remember right, is just under 3 1/4 inches. Something like that. It's relative. In other words, of course you can tell it's not a long handle by any means. In other words, the whole setup is relatively short. For some people that might be problematic, but for me, it's quite all right. Just a little bit of singing, if you will. I can hear it inside the head. I could hear the blade going through the whiskers and the sound going. It's pretty cool. Don't always notice that with all the razors, but this is aluminum, And wow, that was pretty smooth. That may have some effect on what you hear in the way like a singing of like a straight razor. That was my first thought. Get like a full hollow ground straight razor, and as the blade's cutting through the whiskers, you can, in other words, hear it sing. Yes, this is pretty good soap. I didn't have, how you say, any expectations that it would not be. I've seen enough videos, in other words, of people singing the praises of the soap. I have been pretty lucky. I haven't had a whole lot of interactions with soap that didn't agree with me, in other words, had a reaction to. The only one that I still guess you might say that I have a question about is the Sterling Wintergreen. That one there, I'm not so sure that I'm not having a reaction to it. But outside of that, and the reaction is not quite what some people may have. Mine's a little different. Guess you might call it the warming of the face. And then you still have the cooling sensation. It's really weird when you have that. Yeah, this is a good matchup. This blade, this razor, definitely a good matchup. Oh, I got a link. I know I mentioned that I've got links down below, but I think it's this particular link. I think these blades are still in stock. I should mention. These are not always easy to find in stock, and then typically they're right around the neighborhood of $20 or more for a 100-pack. Not exactly the cheapest, but not the most expensive by any means either. Because if you look at a 100-pack of feather or Kai blades, in other words, those run 40, 50 bucks. Just depends on where you get them at. Yeah, blades can be pretty expensive. But also, if you factor in how many shaves you get off of each blade, it brings that price down. I can still smell the soap. That's not always the case, but that's not anything negative about the soap. It's just that my nose is just actually working rather well today. It's pretty nice to have it working. At least better than what it normally is. You might be able to tell sometimes throughout one of my shaves with a DE. How smooth the shave is going. It's going really smooth. This is a nice shaver. It looks fantastic also. That's always a plus, isn't it? It is pretty smooth. At least for me it is. In other words, you may find a blade that works better for you in this particular shaver if you decide to pick one of them up. It is one of those situations, though, if you're really wanting one, take a moment and look at eBay or any other of your buy-sell trade locations. Take a moment, and you might find that you don't see very many, if any, of these for sale. So this particular shaver could fall in that category. If you really want it, you might want to buy it when you see it, because over time it might get to be a little bit more difficult to locate. I say it's not exactly the cheapest razor out there in the way of slant razors, but it is a nice one. I know I enjoy it. Boy, this shave is, you can almost as smooth as, in other words, for a lot of people, they have folks have experience with a Gillette Tech, it's almost as smooth as that. It is a really smooth shaver and efficient. There's just a tiny bit right through here. I mean, like maybe 5 little whiskers right through there. I mean, it is a very efficient shaver for me. It's almost an automatic pilot one, in other words. Almost. For me, it's because always a lot of times my shaves are with razors that are heavy, and those are easy for me to quote unquote put on automatic pilot, and lightweight ones sometimes I have to pay attention not to put too much pressure on with those. I have that kind of tendency, so I do have to pay attention a little bit. Not quite automatic pilot, but pretty darn close. Should mention this witch hazel is unscented. It does have a scent that is naturally occurring. I mention it from time to time, but I know my nose picks it up. My wife's nose picks it up. She doesn't like the scent. For me, it's okay, because I smell it for a moment, and I smell it on my hands when I put it close to my nose, but right now the scent's already gone. I can't smell it, so that's my nose. Your nose probably will work a whole lot better than what mine does. Give this a quick shake. Once again, here's the aftershave. Kind of feel for Matthew. This aftershave was still sealed up. Didn't even get a chance to use it. That's pretty, it's unfortunate. Right there is what the cap looks like. I don't know if you can see that on the inside. It's got a little post that comes down, goes inside the restrictor there, and helps keep the aftershave in there. Plus keeping it smelling fresh. This is great scent. Sometimes, it's kind of hard when you find a artisan that makes a particular scent. You may have a lot of soaps with different scents, but you find this one that you just kind of wows you. You don't look any further sometimes. This one here is, it is quite nice. It really is. Great for a Sunday shave, that's for sure. Had a great shave today. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay healthy, stay safe, and smooth shaves to you.